It has been a super long time since I have done this, and I heartily hope that I have remembered to do all of the things that I need to do. Hi y'all, it's me, Anna E, and I'm going to show you what was in my first Shop Smart fashion box. Alright, so this is not a sponsored video in any way. I mean, I don't have enough subscribers for that sort of thing, but Shop Smart did reach out to me via email and said, hey, we'll waive your styling fee and give you a $10 credit if you want to try the service out and then do a video about it. So I said, sure, as long as I can be honest. And they were like, that's fine. So Shop Smart is this box right here, and admittedly it is the cutest box I've seen. I really love the packaging on it, the bright colors and stuff. Like, it's unmistakable. It's a pretty heavy box. Typically they only send 5 items at a time, but I think I got more than that because I was a little click happy in the preview. Right. So Shop Smart is a startup subscription box for women, and from what I can tell, it's in its really early stages. So a lot of the problems I had with it were just products of it being so early in development, and I'm sure that they'll work out those kinks, because ultimately the end product was really good. So let's get started. Inside that box, I got hang on. I got a little letter with some decorative duct tape thingy on the thing. It's just a standard envelope. They did miss half my name, but that's all right. We're gonna let that go. So in here they included my invoice, which has, let me see if I can cover up my information here, which has a list of the things that they sent me, the individual prices, and then the total amount if I kept the whole thing. I did a little comparison shopping online to see if I could find these pieces and see how much the markup was. I found a couple of surprises, and we'll go over those as I move through. So it's a simple piece of paper. It's nothing fancy. It says that after I've made my final purchase selections, I have 4 days to do that. When I've made those final purchase selections, I can fill out a Google form, and then my final invoice will be sent through PayPal, which is another indicator of a startup company. They clearly don't have their own credit card processing stuff, but given that PayPal has a lot of protection in place for both the merchant and the customer, that's a good way to start. So what happened is I was contacted by my stylist, who asked me to fill out a form, and the form was your basic style box form. It's like, do you like this? Do you like this? Where do you shop? What are your sizes? What are your measurements? What's your Pinterest? What's your YouTube? What's your whatever? So I filled in all of that information and was as thorough and as detailed as possible. They never once asked me for my age, which I thought was really nice. And they never once asked me for my credit card information up front, which was also nice. So I did not have to give them my credit card information prior to this box being shipped, which is nice because that means if that box got lost, they wouldn't be able to charge me the full price of the box, which was really comforting. I think this being a startup and having them contacted me, had they asked for my credit card information up front, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have been comfortable with that at all. Right, so I went through and did all of that. And then the stylist sent me a Google form, which was really interesting, that had a bunch of different pieces in there. And it was very clear that they had looked at my Pinterest board. I call it my Dressing Me Pinterest board. I'll link it below. It's very clear they had looked at it because they referenced my love of yellow things and my floral obsession currently, that I only wear shift dresses, that I only wear skinny pants and jeans. So that was really good. They did really well with that. And almost every piece in that selection on that Google form was pretty good. There was something about it that I liked. There was nothing in it that I absolutely hated. So they told me to select a maximum of 5. I think I ended up selecting 7. And they sent me all of it. They sent me everything I selected, which I was really surprised about. So my box being $500 was not the total amount of the whole box being $500 was probably not standard, because I did have 2 more things in there than your normal box would be. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so then they sent me a style card here with a couple of the pieces. Not every single one is listed on here, and some different styling options. They have a little personalized note here about how they picked florals and pastel colors, which is odd because I don't have a lot of pastels. I don't think pastels look good on me. I like brighter and deeper colors, but whatever. So those are that, and then they gave me a couple ideas about what to do with a couple of the different pieces. So we'll see. They call it a style box. So it's I guess it's Shop Smart is the company and Style Box is what you get. Sort of like Trunk Club is the brand, or Stitch Fix is the brand, the company, and then they send you a box or a trunk or whatever. So, Style Box. First up, and something that I really think I'm going to keep, are these. Hang on, wait for it. These mustard color skinny pants. They are high-waisted, which is for me, but oh my goodness, they feel so good. They're also tall. They also fit great. They are from J. Crew, which I find really interesting. So these aren't brands that, it makes me wonder how they're doing this. Like, do they go out and do they shop for things and then put them in the box? Or do they get some sort of deal with the brands? Like, I'm very curious on how this actually works. But this is a J. Crew pant. It's a J. Crew right in the label. And they've got zippers. They've got zippers on the backs of the legs, down at the skinny part on the back, which is really nice. Very nice detailing. What's interesting to me is none of these things have tags. The only tags that are left on them are things about the garments, like the fabric dye or whatever. But there is 0 tag in here about with a purchase or a scan barcode, what they call those UPC codes. Nothing on any of these. So I find that really interesting too, because if they have gone out and purchased something from an actual J. Crew store, how are they going to return it if I send it back and there's no tag on it? I'm curious. I'm very, very curious about that. Right. So an interesting thing about those mustard pants, let me get this thing out. The price that they are charging me is $79.99, and what I found on jcrew.com, these are not on sale, they aren't on clearance. On the jcrew.com website, they're asking for $98. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but that's a $20 difference. So I really might keep those pants because of that difference. And on top of, they feel really great, they fit great, they're long enough. I really might keep them. Next up is a pair of leggings. They're exercise leggings, so they're athletic leggings, but they're an extra large and they're a little big for me. Now what I have noticed, and in the past this is probably my fault, I gave them both my measurements and the best guesstimate of the sizes, and normally I round up with subscription services now, because I have noticed that, especially with Stitch Fix and Trunk Club, they'd send me things that were way too small, even though I gave them my measurements. So it's my fault that these are too big, but they are too big. I like them fine. These are actually a brand, I think these were the brand. These are Ari. I think I've heard of these a lot of places, and I'm pretty sure you can get these at Anthropologie as well. I'm not positive. I need to double check on that. But I liked them. I thought they felt great. I will not be keeping them because they are a little too big. But they are exactly as pictured. They are exactly as pictured. They've got the mesh detailing. The quality is really good. Again, the only tag information on here is the size in the waistband. There isn't a tag on here for price or anything. So I'm still really curious how they're doing this, how they're making this work. This piece showed up in the preview as something that was more of like a chiffon or a like a gauzy thing. This is really more of a knit, and I don't like a really thin, fine knit. And I'm not a big fan of the fabric, so that's going back. It's a Weston. It's a floral, loosey-goosey sort of peasant shirt. I really like the way it fits. I'd wear a long tank underneath it and wear it with a pair of neutral kinds of leggings, probably around the house, if it was a gauze, you know, more of a gauze or a silky something rather than a knit. But the colors are really nice. It feels really good. It's very lightweight. It'd be great for summer. Next up, we have something that was huge, way too big for me. These are skinny cut from cloth, the Diana skinnies. I really like the color and they feel really good, but they sent me a size 16 and that's way too big. Again, just the brand tag, no price tag, no whatever. They have the thing in the size, you know, this is the brand thing on the waistband, but that is it. But they're way too big, so they've got to go back. And I think I'd send them back anyway because the color is a little on the lighter side than what I would normally wear on my bottom half. I like to keep things darker on my bottom half. So they're going back, but other than that, they feel great. It's Cut From Cloth is a brand that both Stitch Fix and Trunk Club send. So it's interesting that they have also partnered with this new box. I haven't been telling you what the prices are. It's fine. I'm going to screenshot the price sheet so you can see all the pieces and all the prices. And insert that at the end of this video, so if you are curious about prices or the names of things, they'll be there. I'll also try to remember to write in the brands on the price sheet because the price sheet doesn't have the brands listed. It's just a description of what the piece is. I've had a lot of coffee. I'm fighting the flu, so I've had a lot of coffee. All right, next up is another brand I recognized. This is actually from Ann Taylor Loft, weirdly. Also way too big. This is an extra large. At Ann Taylor, I typically wear a medium. But I love it. Like it's exactly, this is the color, this is the mustard color that I adore. It's a great color for my hair. I really like the look of this. I definitely would put this under a denim jacket like they suggested on that style card. And I totally rock that with some white jeans. But sadly too big. I could not find this on the website, so I'm wondering if this might be a holdover from the fall line. Maybe it's something that they just had in stock, I don't know. But too big, so it's got to go back. Other than that, I really like it. Quality's really good. It's clearly new. It still smells like the store. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't know how they're doing it. Would love to know how they're doing it. All right, next we have a purple dress. It's a little big for me as well. This is a Dolan Left Coast collection and an XL. So I probably would have gotten a large and been comfortable in it. The cut is fine. It's not very flattering, and I think that's probably just because it's an XL and not my right size. I need a large definitely for my chestal region and my arms. Probably medium for my torso and a large again for my hips. So I'm a weird shape for dresses, so dresses are always tricky. But I do love the color. I am surprised by the fabric. I do wish that in the preview selection they gave you a little bit more information rather than a name and a picture. I would have loved to have seen what kind of fabric this was. I would have loved to have been told, is it stretchy? Is it not stretchy? Is it, is the picture accurate? Does it, you know what I mean? Like I would have loved a little more information in that preview because I definitely would not have picked it to send because I don't really like the fabric. The picture showed that it was a little more plummy and less gray than what it turned out to be. But other than that, it feels fine. Like it feels like a fine quality. Yeah, and I like that it has sleeves. Love that it has sleeves. So, and the V-neck is also really nice, but it doesn't fit, so it's got to go back. And even if it did fit, I'm pretty sure I would have sent it back because the fabric doesn't feel breathable. And we're getting into spring and summer in Georgia, so I definitely want to keep something that has a little more room for that air to circulate. All right, and then the last thing I have found in my box and from the preview is a pair of leggings. These are I think it's Pure and Good. Is it Pure and Good? Yeah, this is a Pure and Good legging. Unfortunately it's an XL and I really need an L again. So I'll know if I continue the service to change my sizing back down to what I would actually wear since they're using real stores that I go to, then I'll know better. So these have got to go back unfortunately because they're just too big. But I really love these. I love these so much. They have this, this crisscross detail on the backs of the legs. I really love how that looks. I love how that feels. Like it's a nice layer of luxe. These are incredibly expensive. They're incredibly expensive on the Anthropologie website. They were incredibly expensive on the price sheet as well. This was another piece that I was able to find online. Anthropologie was charging $98 and Shop Smart, the box, was charging $103. So really that's not much of a markup. That's a markup I'm okay with. I feel like that's an appropriate percentage of profit for them. Mostly because they went out, they found this, they brought it to me, and I feel like $5 is fine for that. Like, I'm okay with that. That makes sense, especially because somehow they got the J. Crew pants for $20 less than what I could get them online. So it evens out, totally evens out. Right, so unfortunately they gotta go back, but I'm definitely in love with these. They even have a little key pocket. I don't know if I could really spend $100 on a pair of leggings, but I'd think about it for these. I'd think about it hardcore. And that's it. That was what was in my first box. All in all, I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the service. And any problems that I have are obviously startup kinds of problems. They're like small company, just getting going kinds of problems. Like, I didn't like that there wasn't a lot of information on the style card. I don't really feel comfortable with the PayPal and the Google Forms situation, but again, it's because they're just getting going. They'll definitely get a website where they process all that stuff on their own, I'm sure, but you know, that costs a lot of money to do. So that's not a cost that, if you can outsource that, that's something that would make a lot of sense to do externally, especially when you're getting to go. So those are two things I have a problem with. The third thing I had a problem with was when I got it, there was no information about how to check out. There was no website to go to. There was no form in the box. There's no shipping label in the box. Like, it was all like, I contacted customer service to find out, hey, how do I send this back to you? How do I check out? And they said, well, you'll get a separate email with the form to check out. And I did, and it's a Google form, and then I'll probably fill out that Google form, and then they'll send me an invoice, a PayPal invoice, and probably a label to ship back. But that's weird. Like, I'm not sure if it's because my box was part of their YouTube outreach box. I have a feeling they have probably contacted many of us to send us all boxes so we can get reviews, so their name can get out there, which is clever marketing. But I found it a little weird. Things I really like about it, they clearly looked at my board. They clearly spent some time on there. They paid attention to the brands that I liked. I got things from my favorite two stores, Anthropologie and J. Crew. That's amazing. Two, I really like that their customer service is on top of it. I had to email them 3 or 4 times, and they got back to me in 6 hours most of the time. I think the longest span was 12 hours, but that was because I sent it at night and I didn't get an answer until the morning. So really and truly, less than a couple of hours. When I sent them the email about, hey, I got my box, but there's no way to check out, I don't have any instructions with that, they got back to me in less than 20 minutes. Like, that's pretty cool. I really like that, and I'm sure that is something that they will try to stick with as they grow. So hopefully they'll stay on top of that, and they'll keep that sort of fast feedback going. Overall, I'm really very pleased. I think they did a great job. I think the sizing issues were my own fault, mostly because I was basing my sizes on things from Stitch Fix and Trunk Club, knowing that they would send me things that were too small. So I upped my sizes, and I got exactly what I asked for, except, you know, that was me. That was all me. So that's a problem, and that's a me problem on my end. So if you sign up for this, remember they're using stores, real life stores that you can go into yourself. So try to size out based on that. Yeah, like fast service, fast shipping. I think I got my box 2 days after they shipped it. That was really quick, so I didn't have to like sit on the mailbox waiting for things to come. Very nice, very nice. The box is adorable. I'm sure Remus would love it if I was keeping it, but I'm sure that's what I'll have to send everything back in because it's a good size for a cat. Who doesn't love a box? It's a good size for a cat. All right, well that was what was in my first Shop Smart box. I have linked the website below. There's also a code you can enter to waive your first style fee, which I think is like 20, 25, something like that. But all those links are below. This is also my vlogging channel. I upload every Sunday, sometimes Monday, depending on how busy I am. And like and subscribe for more, and all of the things that all the YouTubers say. I was really happy. I think that had I done the size thing better, I think I would have had a hard time deciding what I was going to keep, especially those $100 links. So yeah. That's awkward and uncomfortable. That just looks weird. What is going on? Yeah, we're gonna have to roll with it. Have I had hair on me this whole time? Like, come on. Hope it didn't show up. I am keeping the old pants, I think, because those are really nice. And they fit me right now, and you gotta have clothes that fit you right now, right? Right? Sure. Sure. And I can unzip those ankles and then turn them into like a capri with a roll up and a little booty. Oh, that would be cute. Right? That would be cute. Totally. Okay. All right. I might have been slightly out of focus that whole time because I cannot manage to sit still. Fantastic. I miss my kitty.